Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to take a look at one of the last 2019 offerings from Liong Mah, even though we're into 2020 here. This has been one of the knives that I have carried the most over the last 6 months. So we'll go into the specs, talk a little bit about it, share with you guys kind of my thoughts after 6 months of pocket time, and yeah, hopefully this video is helpful. So he always ships things with a padded pouch, which is pretty cool, and this particular version is the black micarta version. There are 2 other versions, and you can find them at various knife dealers like Blade HQ or Liong Mah's website itself. But you have a green micarta version. Then you also have a brown micarta version. So there is the different colors, and all very cool, but for some reason I gravitated towards the black micarta. So these other 2 are not broken in at all. This one is. This is the one that I've been carrying and using, and you'll see that with the action. So anyways, so this is obviously called the Zulu Flipper. It is based off of the Zulu pattern slip joint. It might have been Tony Bose who originated the pattern. I don't know. I'm not a slip joint collector or enthusiast, so if one of you guys know, feel free to sound off below. But this is a pretty close to, obviously, you know, the Zulu pattern. The materials are different, of course, and it's got a large opening notch. It's certainly not a nail nick, but anyway, so this is a Zulu pattern slip joint, and this is the Liong Mah Zulu pattern flipper. So you can see some similarities with the kind of the handle shape and the blade shape. Obviously you can see where it draws its inspiration from, but I'm going to move that one out of the way here. Nice walk and talk on that one, and let's look at the specs on this thing. So I do have a couple different size comparisons. The most appropriate is, of course, the Kershaw Dividend here, which it is pretty much right in line with in terms of specs. We got a blade length of 3.25 and a cutting edge of about 2.75. We do lose a fair bit of cutting edge with that a sharpening notch / finger choil, so the blade to handle ratio isn't exemplary on this knife, as you can see clearly here. The overall length is 7.5, so materials, again, we've got M390 here on the blade steel, we've got micarta inlays, titanium handles, titanium hardware, runs on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent, and the cool thing is the micarta inlay is actually on both sides of the knife, which you know, I really like. Most of the time you find an inlay just on one side, and you'll find just a plain frame lock on the other side. Obviously this kind of goes next steps above and beyond. So that's where we are in terms of specs. Weighs in at 4 ounces for, well, all of them. The only difference is the color on the micarta. Now you guys might be wondering, if you're looking at this one, you know, how does it stack up against the Hawk? I've already done a video on this one, and then we also have the Lanny Flipper too. So this is his line essentially of kind of modern interpretations of traditional patterns, all very cool. This one is it's a special one, you know, it's done in Damasteel, so a little bit different. He did a few in Damasteel. He doesn't do it on every run, but on some runs he has a few in Damasteel. So if you really like Damasteel, you probably want to email him and give him a heads up you're looking for him, because he typically doesn't even post them. They just kind of disappear into the abyss of most likely his repeat customers that he knows they're looking for him. So you know, overall size, they're all pretty much the same. One huge differentiator is this was I think this was a 2018 model, and these are 2019 models, but the blade stock did come down a bit moving into these new models, and he is releasing, again, just FYI, he's doing a version 2 of the Lanny coming out in 2020 that will have thinner blade stock than the original one here. So very cool pieces all around. They do have slight differences, but all are very good. You know, different flavors essentially. So this one is a hollow grind. This one's also a hollow grind. I think they all are. Oof. Yeah, hollow grind with a flat tip. So, you know, with these shorter, kind of thinner blades here, it's nice that a hollow grind was incorporated, so it moves more material behind the edge as compared to a, you know, perhaps a flat grind. So, anyways, while we've got these two, let's talk about a few more differences here. But you know, if you're looking at these three, you'll find that in the hand, the Zulu and the Lanny have a bit more handle thickness, so they feel the hand a little bit better. I think ergonomically, I mean, they're all really good, but I think the Zulu ergonomically is the one that works the best in my hand. The Hawk here feels slimmer and it is lighter overall. It doesn't feel the hand quite as well as these other two, but it also disappears in the pocket a fair bit better. So anyways, if you have specific questions kind of comparing these three, let me know, but just wanted to give some high-level stuff since, again, if you're looking at this one, you might also be considering those other two models. Alright, so let's take a look here at the blade, hollow ground. Let's talk about the opening method. We do primarily have a flipper tab, really easy to use. Now this one's got crud all up in there because I carry it. Really easy to use, you never slip on this flipper tab, and the action is very strong opening. The blade is fairly light, so you're not going to get, you know, like a drop shut action like perhaps this Lanny does with the thicker blade stock, and I don't know. Yeah. So let's see, what else do we have going on here. Now another thing on the blade, you do have these nail nicks, and there's a good thing and a bad thing about it. The good thing is you have the nail nicks, it's on both sides, so if you want to grab this thing and pinch it, like so, it opens very, very easily. And so if you're not supposed to have a one-handed opening knife, hopefully the police officer doesn't notice, you just open it nice two hands. But I like that it's on both sides because that pinch is very firm and you have tons of traction on it. So I was talking to my friend SharpDad33, and he mentioned one thing he was kind of disappointed is it doesn't really allow for one-handed opening the nail nick, which was something that he had been looking for. And it's not something that I ever really considered, to be honest. It wasn't something I ever thought about or a wish that I had. So I thought it was interesting that he had a different expectation of the knife than I did, which is why I wanted to share that with you guys. So if you're looking at this and wondering, hey, can I roll it open? There's not really adequate space to get in and use that nail nick or to, you know, middle finger flip it. I'm sure someone out there has... Yeah, I'll end up cutting myself. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm sure one person out there has figured out how to open it one-handed using the nail nicks. Not really designed for that. So that's one thing. All right, jumping up top, moderate traction. Overall, again, the ergonomics are very, very nice on this knife. It just fills the hand well, and everything is contoured just exceptionally well done. It just feels very smooth, very rounded. It feels kind of like a custom in a lot of regards, just with the amount of time that was spent ensuring that there are no sharp edges anywhere on the knife. Let's look at the micarta inlays here. So pretty good. Certainly acceptable for me. There might be the slightest gap if we're getting microscopic right here, but more than adequate. This one has more of a kind of a polished feel to it. Does provide a little bit more traction than, let's say, the titanium does, but it's not like the full coarse. Oh, I don't have anything around me, but it has more of a kind of a polished finish. Anyhow, so let's look at some of the additional chamfering for the cutout to open that thing. Has a nice sound too. If you don't hit the camera like I did, whatever. I'm not going to go back. So All right, let's see what else we have going on here. Backspacer has some additional milling to get the blade in there. Now there is potentially a finger choil here. In my larger hands, it's not quite usable for me. If you do have smaller hands, it'll work. My thought is primarily the reason for that, as you can see, is that does clear the backspacer. So the spine of the knife is completely protected. You're not going to get anywhere near the blade. Lanyard post, and he does utilize again the bag style pocket clip with this large ceramic ball with the bent over spring. So, you know, again, not the most attractive design, but incredibly functional. And there's nothing I hate more than a clip that is not functional, and I absolutely love very functional clips. So love this clip. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. Again, my friend Shartad33, he didn't love the clip, whereas I like it, you know. I love the fact that it's functional. Stylistically, I like it, but it is easily swappable for left-handed users. Although with a frame lock, that's not as left-hand friendly, but most of you guys have already become accustomed to, you know, utilizing right-handed knives for the most part. So stainless steel lock insert. Thickness, it's pretty thin behind the edge with this hollow grind. Briot is well known for you know, their heat treat and their steel performance, so I have no concerns there. But it's a very nice piece, and again, it's one of the ones that I have carried the absolute most because it works well in jeans, it works well in slacks, and yeah, you can't even tell that it's, you know, that it's a knife because it's that deep, and that's what the pocket clip looks like. So, all right. Price-wise, if I haven't mentioned it, you know, it's a premium product. It's over $400, around $415 at dealers. So you're getting a premium design with arguably the best OEM manufacturer out there, which is Riot Knives. Excellent package. Liong did an amazing job in 2019. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, his 2020 catalog, I think, is even better than his 2019 catalog. It's one of the best that I have seen thus far into 2020, as far as kind of really great designs that look very functional. He's got 2 new integrals. So in the description box below, I'm going to put a link to his 2020 catalog. Definitely take a look, see if there's anything in there that excites you. I think it's the model 18 is the one that I'm super excited for. You guys will have to take a look and tell me what you think. All right, we will go ahead and end it there. Hopefully I covered everything. Again, just in quick summation, it feels amazing in the hand, great carry option, great user for your normal tasks. It's one that I would recommend. And even though the Hawk is a little bit easier to carry, and stylistically I might like it a little bit better than the Zulu. The Zulu's the one that I honestly prefer kind of the most out of the 3 here, just because of the way it feels in hand and the weight and the way that it carries and all those good things. So anyways, guys, more videos to come. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me. Daily content on Instagram also is EpicSnuggleBunny. I'll see you guys soon.